Last year I made a video about starting small with pixel art, and y'all seem to like it. A lot. And I've been wanting to make a follow-up video on ways you can use these very first sprites that you make in some fun little projects. Yes, you can absolutely use these for your first game or an asset pack. I may or may not be doing that myself now. But I thought it would be nice to have a look at some other ways to use your creations without having to create an entire game around them. So, let's jump into it. And if you haven't met me before, hey, my name is Jade and I like to paint with pixels. For these examples, I'm going to be talking about pixel art that is made on canvases between 16 by 16 pixels and 32 by 32 pixels, and I'll show you the canvas size that I use for each project as we go. The first project is sub badges. These are little icons that supporters of either your Twitch or YouTube channel members can have next to their username whenever they interact with your channel. This is what I started with when I wanted to get better at drawing smaller icons. I wanted to revamp my old sub badges on my Twitch stream, so this felt like the perfect project. What's nice is that you can set the scale of this project. If you wanted to start with one badge, you can do that, and then if you start to enjoy it, you can build up as you go and cover multiple months of support. Experimenting with small changes can create an entire set to show the progression of the badge too. Take for example these star and heart containers. We can start with them empty, and then like in a video game, add multiple different states of filling the container for different months. Or you can mix it up with different colours. I found that this project can really help you understand how you can get a variety of icons from the same base design. For sizing, I use an 18 by 18 pixel canvas that I can then scale up when I'm exporting. The next project are emotes. These are a bit more focused on drawing people at a smaller scale, which can be a really fun challenge. I found that designing a base character that you can then play around with the pose and how expressive they are is a good approach for this. And these are not just for streaming on Twitch. You can also make custom emotes for your own Discord server. I use a canvas of 28 by 28 pixels and scale up when exporting from there. The third project you can do are digital stickers. This one is for those who love to do digital journaling, or hey, you could also print these out and use them in physical journals as well. I have a mixture of both practical stickers for when I'm planning content, and more decorative stickers just for journaling. The sizing of these is completely up to you. To start with, I would stick with a smaller canvas size of 16 by 16 pixels and build up confidence from there. You could even reuse the icons that you made for your sub badges here as well. You might just need to scale these up a bit more when you're exporting. The next one is something that's a bit more involved, but really satisfying if, like me, you're on your computer almost every day, and that is desktop packs. These are icons that replace your folders and your shortcuts on your desktop. It's a nice thing to look at when you turn on your computer first thing, and can build up into a bigger project where you make a desktop wallpaper to match. They're very customizable, and you can change them with the seasons as well. In terms of making these, I use a 16 by 16 canvas for the initial icons and export it at multiple sizes. I combine all of these different sizes into one file ready to export into a new file type that the computer can recognize for replacing the icons. This will depend on what type of computer you use. For Windows, they need to be exported as a .ico file, and for Mac, they need to be a .icn file. A similar project that you can take on the go with you are phone and tablet icons. These replace the look of your app icons on your phone and your tablet. I use the same canvas as the desktop packs for these at 16 by 16 pixels, and you can even reuse some of the designs in your desktop pack if you're using the same apps or have a similar theme going. Though you will need to have a background color for these icons if you're on iOS, as these do not support transparent icons. The setup for these is not too bad, it's just a lot of repetitive actions making shortcuts depending on how many apps that you have, but I will leave a few tutorials that I found useful for these in the description. This is probably one of my favourite projects, which you might have seen in previous videos, and that is custom mouse cursors. I will preface this, I have only found a way for this to work on Windows. I'm sorry Mac and Linux users. But it is a really nice way to add a little bit of joy to your day, especially if you spend most of your day at a computer like me. I made them on a 16 by 16 canvas, which is very tricky to fit everything on the canvas and still make it readable, but it scales well if you scale your mouse up with the settings, which I explain in this video here. But I've also seen a lot of other creative folks make cursors on a 32 by 32 pixel canvas as well. This is another project where you have to export your art and then convert it into another file format. For static cursors, this will be a .cur file, and for animated cursors, this will be a .ani file. If you would like any of the examples that you've seen in the video so far, I have them available in my shop or as commissions. A link for my VGen will be in the description. These are all quite screen-heavy options, but there's a lot you can do away from the screen as well. One that I have done before is crochet. I've made a few projects, but none have used my pixel art as a pattern, and I feel like a mini tapestry of one of the icons that we've made for the sub-badges would be a really nice way to practice switching colours and making a cute little piece to add to my gallery wall. You could also make granny squares of designs that you could then combine into a cute pouch or a bag, or maybe even a cardigan. It seems like there's a lot of options here. Another big one that I've seen is cross-stitch. I've never done this before, but I feel like there's quite a few fun projects you could do with decorating your clothes or your bags with little icons. And then as you build confidence, you could even combine some of these icons to make a bigger pattern, or something like a bookmark, or an even bigger decor piece. I keep finding cool fiber crafts that use a grid-like design for the pattern, which is perfect for pixel art, like this Cavendoli macrame? I hope I got the name right, but this also seems like a really approachable craft as well. For all of these, I think I would start with the smallest canvas of 16 by 16 pixels, especially if it's a material that I've never used before, to make it a bit easier and a shorter project to test out whether I like it or not. If fibercraft's not your thing, you could also make these really cool wooden block sculptures and paint each of the blocks like you would a pixel, or these perler beads where each bead is a pixel in your design and then you iron them to seal them together. And there we have it! I have probably missed quite a few use cases for pixel art. Please let me know in the comments if you've got any other ideas. Of course, there is always just making the art and enjoying the art itself in the process. But if you're like me and you love to have some sort of project to guide your creativity, then hopefully you found something to try in this video. I've started a playlist with the videos of the projects that I've documented on the channel so far for you to watch next. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care out there. Goodbye!